Good morning. It is 9 a.m. I'm getting ready to make some breakfast, and you'll come along for the journey as I make breakfast. But I wanted to show you something. This is my big Maxwell House container. It's pretty much empty. Uh, the other day I asked if they had any coffee. I really didn't need any coffee the other day, and I wasn't particularly in a good mood, but I managed to get some coffee from the food pantry. And this is what I do with it. Probably keep this for grease. I always forget to do that. I always forget to keep containers like this for grease. And the thing is, I can use this for seed oils once they cool. I'm going to keep this. Plus, I am way running out of jars. So that's what I do with the coffee, and it all goes into the Maxwell House container. And when that container gets, I don't know, sufficiently old enough, I buy another one and use that container after I use the coffee, of course. I'm just finishing up some dishes, so I'll be back in a minute. All right. I think the skillet is on its final sterilization on the stove, but I want to show you where I'm getting this cornmeal out of. Right here, folks. It's been sitting in the freezer for at least a week, maybe longer. But this is 1.5 pounds of corn flour, and it was packed on in April, I guess. They dated it for us. So, do I know what exactly cornmeal this is? No, I have no idea. Kind of looks like actual cornmeal. But it is much darker than this one. We're going to see both of the differences between these two as I make the porridge, because I got just an itty bitty bit left in there. So I'm going to finish off this bag and use this bag. And when I got that cornmeal, he asked me if I wanted it. And of course I said yes, because I am running out of cornmeal, and I really love cornmeal porridge for breakfast. And he asked me, he said, "Are you going to make some cornbread out of that?" And I said, "No, I'm going to make some porridge out of it." And he was confused. I don't think he'd ever had cornmeal porridge before, but we're going to try and make porridge out of that corn flour, even though we're not sure what kind of corn flour it is. But I did get it from the food pantry, so this cornmeal porridge will be 99% free, because the spices, obviously, I paid for, but the cornmeal this time, the food pantry gave me. So here's my scale. If you put your item on the scale and turn it on, at least this is how mine works, it will automatically zero out the skillet. So we're going to make this to ounces. I need 6 ounces of cornmeal, and I want to show you the difference between this cornmeal mix that I got, buttermilk cornmeal mix, and the color of that one. So we're going to see here. So I have just 2 ounces of cornmeal in there. That's more than I thought was in there, actually. So I've got 2 ounces of my cornmeal, and then we're going to need 4 ounces of the food pantry's cornmeal, which has been in the freezer. So 4 ounces of this stuff. Look at the difference. I think it's lighter. I'm going to stop at 5 ounces. I think that's plenty. All right. So there's the difference, folks. The cornmeal mix that I'm using is almost white, and the stuff the food pantry gave me is very, very yellow. So I only put 5 ounces in there because that looks like plenty. I'm going to tear it out, and we're going to add a little bit of water. So 14 ounces of water. And I'm going to add 8 ounces of milk. Maybe a little less. This is the last milk I've got, though I'm going to the food pantry tomorrow. Today is Tuesday. 8 ounces of milk. And I'm going to put a little salt in here to start off. Okay, a lot of salt. And we're going to come over here to the stove. And it's a gloomy day today again. Spring is having a hard time. It's gloomy, it's super windy, and it's kind of cold. It's only 44 degrees outside. And this is kind of interesting because right as they had this, I was thinking I was going to have to go back to the store and get more cornmeal mix. And the mix that I bought really lasted a long time. I bet it's been over a month, and I just now ran out of the mix that I bought. And thankfully, the food pantry had some. So this just gets stirred until it's done. As soon as this is all kind of evenly distributed, I'm going to turn up the heat. I'm hungry, and it is getting late. And I got a lot to do today. All right, that looks good. I'm turning the fire up because I don't want to stand here forever. So this one's a little bit more yellow because the corn flour is a bit more yellow. We're going to see how it tastes. And you just keep stirring it. Yeah, talk about lucking out. I couldn't believe the food pantry had cornmeal or corn flour, whatever this is, right as I was running out of the cornmeal mix that I had. And they rarely have stuff like this. They have bags of flour all the time. You can get one a month, and I'll get one tomorrow. But they rarely have things like cornmeal, wheat flour. If they had wheat flour, that would be really amazing. But I'm going to have to go to the store and get either pumpernickel flour. I'm going to have to get some special flours because we're going to make some sourdough starter here in a bit. I got a sourdough jar and a sourdough warmer. And we're going to make sourdough starter. This will greatly cut down on my need to buy yeast. Yeast, as you know, is, I don't know, $8, $9 a pound for how I buy it. Thing we'll be doing making sourdough bread with homemade sourdough starter. Well, it is starting to get thick. Kind of looks like it's fighting with my cornmeal mix. Can you see that? They're not really blending. At least it doesn't look like it to me. We're going to see if this porridges, because if it does, I'm going to have a nice breakfast this morning. And I do love this for breakfast. This is excellent. The mix that I got tasted exactly like cream of wheat. I don't know what this is going to taste like. Oh, there it is. It's thickening up nicely. Look at that. Yeah, when it finally goes, man, it goes. Give this just a minute more. All right, we'll turn that off. Boy, look at that, folks. That looks wonderful. All right, I'm going to let this cool off, so we'll head on over here to the table, and I'm going to let this cool off while I get some more coffee. All right, so the only thing in this right now is salt. So we need to add some features or some enhancements, like some vanilla, some cinnamon, and some nutmeg that I am almost out of. Gosh, this might be the last round for the nutmeg. Oops, I think that's it for the nutmeg. Well, there's a little bit more in there. I need to knock it around real hard. A little clumpy. Alright, so, whoops, I need sugar. I guess I need a new bag of sugar from the food pantry tomorrow. This is my last bag of sugar. I gotta put it in a thing, or in a plastic bag. Oh, goodness. I can't believe I lost my sugar. Maybe I might have used it all, but it seems kind of unlikely. I was running out of sugar, but, you know. Alright, so it needs its bag. The reason I do this is because this sugar bag doesn't seal once it's open. I would prefer that mine seal. So, we're going to open this bag of sugar and dump it in a gallon container. And it's going to be very, very difficult because I only have 2 hands. Plus, this allows me to look at every single grain of sugar. So let's add some sugar. Now, those greedy corporations, they just about got my last dime. Alright, this looks good. Doesn't that look good? That looks good. So let's see how it tastes. Actually, it's really, really hot. Here's my new bag of sugar. I can't believe I ran out of sugar. Huh. It's so weird. It's a little bit plainer than the one that I bought. Yeah, it's not bad. It's plainer. There's not as much flavor to this. But it needs more sugar. And it tastes less like cream of wheat. Alright, so there's a difference. It will taste different based on the type of cornmeal that you buy. This is plainer than the stuff that I buy. And it tastes less like cream of wheat. But it is still good, and it's still worth eating. I am still going to eat it. Yeah, it's a little better. Use a lot of salt and sugar on this if you have the darker cornmeal. Alright, folks, that's the end of this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. I think I got a good one for you next time. I think it's going to be a conversation, but I don't know if there's going to be any food involved. I want to talk about the electric though. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. Have a great day.